Who's that? All right. Hello?
Vince, the world is in chaos. There's only one thing that can save us. We need you to come back.
Let me make a call. Spence, grab your cape. We're going back.
Aha! To the podcast mobile. Or my slightly used light blue Chevy Aveo. You, sir. Have you heard that Before and After Talks has returned for yet another season?
No, what you want me to do about it?
Only listen to the most engaging and innovative podcast you've ever heard?
Hey, look, pal, get lost. Can't you see about the places to be?
Alright, fine.
Can somebody help me? My car won't start.
Hey, look. There's another person that needs our help.
Not to worry, brave citizen, because Before and After Talks is back for another season.
How is that supposed to help me? Who are you idiots anyway?
Who are we? We're Vince and Spence from Before and After Talks, offering reviews and discussions about movies, shows, music, games, and more. How can that not help?
Just go away. You're useless.
Useless? Alright, let's go, lady. Ow! No, not my face! Oh, my spleen!
Whoa. Spence, are you alright? Wait, are you crying?
No. I just don't understand why she had to hit me so hard.
I mean, you did try to attack her first.
I just really thought that we could spread the word to everyone by also being part-time superheroes. Like that time I made those ad stickers and put them on those street signs.
Yeah, I remember. Stop and listen to Before and After Talks. That wasn't a good idea either. How about we just make the best podcast we can and introduce some new ideas and segments?
I mean, I guess we could try that.
All right, so we're back from running on the streets, confronting people. Spencer did get a little messed up. You can hear him. Oh, this poor kid's crying. We hope you enjoyed all of that. Yes, Before and After Talks is back. It's season 2. I'm Vince, joined by...
the spectacular Spence. And by the way, it's the amazing Vince. Vince, how you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a long time. The last episode we published was October 24th, 2019.
We hardly knew what would happen. Those poor innocent kids.
Life was good back then, but now we're in 2020. Thanks, 2020. I do have to bring that up and apologize. This show is roughly based on, viewing stuff and talking about it before it comes out and then going with the after. Sadly, we couldn't do that because podcasting was a little delayed, but we're back at it. And you probably saw that this is the before for Taylor Swift's Folklore album. It did come out a little while ago, a couple months ago, actually. We're recording this in August, so yes, it is a little late, but you may have not heard it yet, and you could just get to it after this. So before we start, I kind of wanted to say a few things. That last season was basically, it was our first season. It was trial and error. But season 2, we're taking everything that we've learned and we're finely tuning all throughout now. Each episode, we're going to be doing something different and will hopefully allow everyone to be able to get something out of it. Our show is a little sporadic. We review stuff, but that's okay because I truly want to focus on creating new experiences and give listeners something to gain. So please do listen to our upcoming episodes about album reviews, video games, oversaturation with content creators, and more. Now, before I do sit down and write out the scripts and episode flow with Spence, I ask myself, what is the deeper question to be asked in this episode? And it kind of goes from there. Now, I'm going around asking other people for their opinions on what would make them more engaged and what they would expect to hear and learn and genuinely think. And I think season 2 will be much better because of it. I was considering giving up on creating this show because it is truly a lot of work. But because one friend of mine said I should get back into it, that ended up being all it took. So I want to give a big shout out to our good friend Max for being a big reason that Spence and I are back doing this. Now we can start the show, Spence.
I'm in. Let's do this.
You're in? All right. We're talking before the review of Taylor Swift's album. Came out July 24th of 2020. A very sad year. And it is actually her 7th consecutive #1 album in the country. And it marked the largest sales week for an album in 2020. Spence, I want to ask you, what was kind of the general buzz before this album came out.
So I think, if I'm correct in saying this, I saw that there was going to be a new song out, and then I believe it was you that texted me, and you said, no, it's going to be an entire album. And I thought, no, you're reading that wrong. Something's not right here. There's no way she would just mysteriously drop an album out of nowhere. That's not what's going to happen. Okay, so that's exactly what happened. It was just out of nowhere. Nobody.
I thought I was setting you up for a trick question because it literally, she gave us like was it even 24 hours notice?
Maybe just over. But there was literally no marketing. There was nothing. And it's not like Reputation where it's just like something's coming. But we're just not going to show it. But something's coming. This was just like something's coming. It's coming in 2 days. 2 days. Get ready.
2 days.
Like,
do it.
It was just out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting this. Nobody was. Nobody.
Well, even though it did come out in July, we're talking about it in August. We can still kind of, get a feeling. So, Lover was her last album, which you loved. No pun intended.
Yes, by far a huge step up from the last one.
Okay.
Leave it at that. And I really like that one a lot. What about you?
I've listened to about half or a little bit more than half. Very good album. See, I was a bigger fan of Reputation, though. If anybody's saw on our Instagram or anything, I have my background set to when I actually went to the concert, because Spencer will never, ever see Taylor Swift like I did.
That hurts.
Should we tell everybody how big of a Swiftie you are?
There's no need. I think I know maybe like one or two of her songs.
Yeah.
The casual guy. Just casual fan.
I was kind of considering like promoting this episode on the after review with the entire listing and ranking of every one of her songs that you did and spent the time on. How long did that take, by the way?
Oh, that was several days. That was maybe like
several days.
Maybe a whole week. I have no idea. But yes, I did do that. That was a thing that happened. I did that.
At the time, she had 129 songs. And the last song that you hated the most was Santa Baby.
Oh, yeah. That's, you know what?
Still like that?
That's like 2 albums and a promo track old. That one's still on the bottom. Guarantee it.
And your number one was New Romantics.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know if that's still up there. That one needs a redo, that entire list.
Well, I might have to, if you're okay with that, I might share and promote this ginormous listing and ranking you have.
Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a fan of many bands, but I don't think I'd ever sit down and rank each song. That seems so hard. I'm
going to be honest with you. It actually wasn't that enjoyable, because then you have to choose between like your favorites, and you're just like, wait, no, I thought this was higher. It's actually not fun.
Well, we'll go back to real quick. So we had Reputation, where there was a lot of, things she went through. So she came back with this bad attitude. Then she comes out with Lover, total, flip side. She's all happy in a good relationship. What did you expect her next album to be before Folklore came out?
If I had to guess at the time, I would have assumed, oh, this is just a bunch of like bonus stuff she had for Lover that didn't make the cut.
Okay.
And it would just be like Lover Part 2, basically. At that time, I wasn't expecting this to begin with. So I was just like, wow, I didn't think we would get anything till at least 21, maybe 22. Who knows? But I would have thought extension of Lover, like Part 2 of it.
But keeping that happier, because she is in a relationship still? Is that?
Yes.
Is she keeping it more under wraps than in the past?
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's what the whole documentary was like kind of about, too, the back half of it, where it's just like, I'm not telling you anything. I'm not telling you anything.
Really? Was that Miss America on Netflix? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just Miss Americana.
Akana. Okay. Yeah, that's actually in the article I'm reading for our after review episode, that they talk a lot about that and compare that to listening to Folklore and kind of the transparency with that. I'll get into it real quick, but everybody feels like this album and that documentary, she's really just getting down to her true self. I mean, she's been in the business a long time, but she's getting away from caring about what people think about her music and just creating the music. So that'll be a big topic of conversation. And before we move on, I found a BuzzFeed thing. That's one of Spencer's favorite things to do. Sadly, isn't a quiz. I'll have to find that for the after review maybe. But these came out the night before, July 23rd, 2020. 23 jokes about the whole album. I didn't go through them all. I'll list a few. But to kind of sum up the reason that everybody's talking on July 23rd is this one. It says, Taylor releasing Lover. Meticulously crafted Easter eggs rolled out over several months in multiple mediums. Taylor releasing Folklore. Oh, some new music's coming in about 16 hours. You're good. So, which Lover, what was it like every day she was posting lyrics or something? What happened with that?
Oh yeah, constantly day to day, and just like random pictures where it's just like this is referencing something. I just don't know what yet. There's just like a random picture of the sky, and it'd be like there's 5 stars.
It's like through Archer.
Yeah, just a bunch of random stuff. She's into that. A lot of the teasing stuff too.
Well, these next two I think are going to hit home for you. So this one is Taylor Swift Folklore announcement, Stronger Than Caffeine. The next one, which I think definitely relates to you. When somebody asks me why I'm running on 0 hours sleep, tomorrow all I will reply is 2 words, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
How'd that next day go for you?
That's definitely me. I definitely stayed up late that night and was super tired at work the next day.
Okay, a couple of them got really weird. I'm going to jump off of that, and we're just going to move on. All right, so I did come up with some new segments. I thought the first season was missing segments in the before episodes. The before episodes, we talk a little bit about the buzz of what we're going to be reviewing in that following episode, and then we kind of go about a variety of other news. But we needed segments, and Spencer is always yelling, especially directly at me. So I kind of came up with a J. Jonah Spence, kind of after J. Jonah Jameson. Give me more pictures of Spider-Man. So Spencer, you have the floor to rant about whatever you want.
I just want to say before we go into this, these are going to be very mellow, very relaxed. You know, we use the word rant really loosely sometimes. I'm just going to share some thoughts about some stuff. All right. With that being said, let's get into it, brushheads. Here we go. Today I'm talking about the Snyder Cut. I don't know how I feel about this thing. I'm going to be completely honest. I have no idea. We just got the trailer from DC Fandom, and this entire thing is completely different than what we got in 2017. And it's like that GIF. It's like I'm sickened, yet also curious. I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm kind of excited for it. I do need to make sure that they do one thing. Make sure there's no stash on Henry Cavill. I know Zach is going to be using no reshoots that Joss Whedon did, but if there's a stash, I'm going to lose it, people. I'm not going to be very pleasant to be around for the next few months, and I'm always a pleasant person. This is going to be very shocking to everybody. So that being said, Snyder Cut. What do you guys think about it? Vince, what do you think about this?
All I saw was that there was 4 hours, and I know I kept hearing about the Snyder Cut. It kept getting brought up, and I would go directly to you, and you always had mixed feelings about it.
I have no idea what to think about this thing. None whatsoever.
I didn't even see the movie.
Since it's like 4 hours, apparently it's going to be cut up into episodes possibly. So I don't. Yeah, no.
Pull an end game, put it together.
All right, but that being said, that was J. Jonah Spence, and we're going to be working on other segments. You're going to see another one today, but there's going to be more, and we got some things lined up. You guys get ready for that.
All right. Well, we can move on. I wanted to talk a little bit about Black Adam. Do I know much about him? No. Spencer does. Spencer loves all that stuff. But Black Adam is going to be played by The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and he kind of came out yesterday with more pictures of himself. They started animating a little bit with all the characters put together. Apparently, I didn't know, but he's been wanting to play that part of Black Adam for a very long time. And the the film's been in pre-production. When's like the earliest you heard about this, Spence?
The earliest I think I've ever heard about a Black Adam movie was like maybe 2012,
what?
2013. I feel like it's always just like a rumor of something you hear. Kind of like, we want to do Man of Steel too. It's like that was 7 years ago. Is it going to happen? So there's been rumblings of this kind of thing for a long time.
Did it take so long because superhero movies, I mean, they got to animate a lot of stuff. Is it because of that, or is there other things?
I think there's definitely, how do you write a Black Adam movie? That's going to be a little difficult. I think that there's also the feeling of this isn't a character that a lot of people know, that not many people know. And how can you guarantee that it's going to be a hit? Kind of like the Deadpool thing. It's just like Fox wasn't going to spend money on that unless they knew it could be a hit. And then the footage leaked and then everything. But I think there's that. Also, Dwayne Johnson, is really busy. He's in everything.
A little bit, yeah. He's the highest earning actor 2 years in a row. So
yeah. So I think there's a lot of factors as to why this one has just been taking so long. And, biggest one right now, why is it going to be delayed a little bit? The virus. But it looks like it's actually going to happen. We just got our first, it was kind of like an animated trailer kind of a thing from fandom. And it looked really interesting. It touches a little bit on his backstory, just a touch.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited for this one. What about you?
Well, this is the sequel to Shazam, isn't it? Or what is it?
Well, kind of, but I think it's pretty self-contained. I don't think you need to see Shazam. If anything, I would imagine there's a reference at the end.
What did The Rock play? Was it Hercules? Trying to think when he played that last, I'm the Jack hero,
Yeah, I think he played Hercules in something.
Wasn't it?
I think he might have. All I know is whenever there's something with Dwayne Johnson, sign you up. You're a fan. I know you are.
I'm how do I get those arms? Oh my God. No, I think it's going to be really cool. He looks awesome in the suit. And the more that he's gotten into acting, he's getting a lot better. I mean, he was good to start with, but he's really good. And it's an anti-hero. So he doesn't have to, I feel like it's going to step away from a cheesiness if he were a typical hero, especially The Rock. He's such a baby face. But taking the article from Polygon, but he said he loves that Black Adam has its own sense of justice, and also love the fact that the origins are that of a slave that felt the burdens and the pressure of a larger entity holding him down until you can't take it anymore. So I think that's really prevalent with the times, and he is a great person and actor to play that part and bring that to life.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely going to be this movie's going to make you think about some stuff, I think, and that's going to be pretty awesome.
And then the final thing is the JSA is what you said, the Justice Society of America.
Yeah, they're going to be teased in this thing, and I'm excited for that.
They're just teased in it, or they're going to be in it?
I've heard that they're going to be in it a little bit, but the main focus is still on Black Adam and Kahndaq, I think. That's just a rumor I heard. If they are main characters, I'm cool with that too.
Okay. It said it's going to introduce JSA to the big screen for the first time with Noah Centineo, Atom Smasher.
Yeah, so the JSA, this is going to feature a lot of classic Golden Age heroes that nobody's really going to know. It's going to, Marvel's doing a lot of stuff right now with the Eternals. Nobody knows these characters. So this is going to be really fresh for everybody, including me. I don't know much about the JSA. I know a little bit, but this is going to be new to a lot of people, and I think that's fantastic. You got to keep it fresh.
Well, the writer and producer, you kind of already hit on it, but his name's Jeff Johns, and they said in the comics he's best known for something very different, taking characters you always thought were kind of dumb and rocketing them to prominence. So with this and getting The Rock to play Black Adam, is Black Adam super popular to begin with?
I would say no, honestly. But with Jeff Johns in charge of it, he's got so many famous runs, whether it's JSA, whether it's Aquaman, whether it's Flash. He's got so many famous stories, and if he's involved, I'm okay with that. He's awesome.
Said in the article it's going to be Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Cyclone, and Atom Smasher. So, I mean, pretty cool names right there.
Yeah, they just sound cool. Wait till you see Dr. Fate. He's got the coolest helmet ever.
I got to look that up after this. I'm thinking next segment, comic quote of the day.
Yes. I'm gonna level with you. This is my favorite segment. So I decided when I was picking one of these out, what do I want? Do I want something that's referencing something today going on? You can't.
Well, that's where I got the idea from, because you posted, was it a Stan Lee thing from the 50s? What was it? Yeah,
a Stan soapbox from I think it was 1962 or 63. But it was just one that kind of hit home for everything that was going on earlier. But I got a feel good one today.
That's what we need.
This one comes from a story called Captain America: The Chosen, and it's Captain America, obviously. And here's the quote: "Courage, honor, loyalty, and sacrifice. You're braver than you think." I love that. Anytime you can get Captain America giving some speech about just making you feel good, a hopeful speech from Cap, I love it. I'm sold. You can expect to hear a lot of Captain America in these segments, by the way.
That was a feel good. I like that. That's a good way to end the podcast, I'm thinking. Finish with a comic quote of the day. You'll feel good. Well, we're going to wrap this up, and then because I have Spencer, we're probably going to record the after review and kind of mix our thoughts together on that. But before we wrap up, I want to say simply just tell a friend, share, and suggest our podcast. I heard Joe Rogan say he's barely promoted, and it's all been word of mouth. So how about we try that? Think we'll get to that level, Spence?
Oh, absolutely. I think by the end of the month, maybe end of next month, we'll be at the school of Joe Rogan for sure.
Okay, we'll compete with him. But, just like the great Paul Revere once said, if podcasts were a thing, I would have rode house to house to talk about podcasts instead of the damn British. That's what I'm saying.
I remember that one from history class.
That was in history class. That's exactly where I'm pulling it from. The next thing I want to mention is that I will link to it in the description, but there is an option to support this podcast. Spence, would you like to tell me your demands for this season 2? The reason we need money?
So when you came to me and you said you wanted to do this again for another season, I said, I'm so busy as is. You're going to have to meet a list of demands out of me. The first one, you're going to have to double my salary.
Yeah, he was making a lot last season.
Yeah, I made 0. But we're doubling that this time.
We're doubling that.
A lot more.
We need a ton of money for that.
Bust out a calculator. Get one of those ones where you have to crank it, because it's going to be like Daffy Duck trying to add something up. Okay? That's how big it's going to be. The second in my demands is a parking space. Vince now has to buy neon paint to paint something in his driveway so that way I can park there.
He knows exactly where to park. It's for him only. It's going to cost me.
Yeah. He's going to need paint now. And the third thing, these podcasts are stressful. I'm freaking out right now. Every now and then, don't you just need like a therapy animal? So I was thinking, I need a therapy chicken, something to pet in between takes.
I don't know why it was a chicken, but that is also expensive these days. Meat prices went up.
I just need one. So we need your support for the double salary, the neon paint, the therapy chicken, as well as the equipment that we do to run this thing. And
realistically, yes. Any money that would be given to us will go right back into the podcast, whether it be equipment or something else, not Spencer's Amazon wish list, no parking space paint. So please do support us. If you feel like it, we will definitely appreciate that. And I have 2 more things. We're going to talk about the YouTube. Billy wanted me to start the YouTube back up, so I did update everything on that. You can see every episode and listen to every episode. We're going to be recording some video stuff, especially for after hours. So if you want to see our faces when we drink a few, it's not the best, but it's kind of funny. And then a couple of the upcoming episodes. So we do have a big focus on after hours because they're fun and easy to record. Don't need a lot of prep. We're going to be talking about Ghost of Tsushima, which has been one of the best-selling games on PlayStation. There's a documentary that Spencer found. It's called Out of Thin Air. It's on Netflix if you want to watch that and listen to our podcast. Out of Thin Air, what was that, Spence?
I believe that one was about the Reykjavik conventions in Iceland. It's like a crime case where there's no evidence of anything that ever happened, no bodies, no nothing, and yet people going to trial. It's fascinating. It's a good one.
Well, I'm excited for that one because I think we started season 1 with the Ted Bundy review, and right away we were getting amazing hits on that episode because people love serial killers.
Why was that this one?
We had I think at the time I would look back, it was we had 13, 14 episodes. Season 1 was 19 episodes, but Ted Bundy, episode number 2, that whole review, people were like, serial killers? Yes, please. It's so weird, but I appreciate it. I still do.
Oh, for sure.
A couple of the other episodes. Jamie Foxx just came out with a Netflix movie called Project Power. A lot of superpowers in that one. Very interesting. We're going to review that. Then we might catch up with the MCU. They finished with Endgame, and I think Spencer could definitely rant for a whole episode about the next phases and what's to come. And we might do something with The Office or talk about movies that were delayed. So plenty of ideas to go around and episodes scheduled. So hope you enjoyed that. This was the before to Folklore, Taylor Swift's latest album.